Hi everyone, welcome back. Doing tipping again, and I'm leaving this pretty damn close this week. Currently, just over 4 hours till the Tigers Blues game, but that's all right. Also, not like no fast game today. I just can't really do stuff. But anyway, let's just get into it. Last week, yeah, we'll recap last week. There were only the two games on, of course. And I got one, and I got one right, and I got it wrong. So yeah, that's really cool. What a way to start the season. But there are 9 games on this week. Thankfully, footy's really back. Fuck opening round, it's so shit. Um, but anyway, let's get into it. Yay! So starting out with Richmond are playing Carlton at the MCG, and I mean every single time I cover the Richmond games, it's going to be a pretty similar story because, I mean, last year they won 2 games narrowly. They narrowly won 2 games and they lost three of their best players. Bolton, Rioli, like he had a really good season as well. And who else was it? Fucking Bolton, Rioli, and Baker. Yeah, that's right. He went to West Coast as well. And also Graham. Yeah, Graham as well. But I mean, he's not really like a superstar. Anyway, so right, Richmond won 2 games last year narrowly, and they've lost their best players. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty similar story every single time I cover a Richmond game. I think they can be competitive because first game of the season, like they'll be up and about. They've got some debutants and that. Um, and yeah, like this game usually always attracts a high crowd, but it's probably going to be less than most years because like still Richmond are going to be really, really shit. So the Blues, they also don't have Charlie Curnow, so that's going to be a bit of a hit to them, but I still think they should be fine. So I'm obviously going to tip Carlton for this one, and I'll tip Carlton by a conservative 50 points. All right, moving on, we got the Hawks and Essendon. Now, this should be actually a really, really good game, I reckon. I think there's about like a 90% of people or something tipped Hawthorn, and I will as well. I will tip them purely just because I mean, like the way they played last week, they were really good. Yeah, I correctly predicted them to beat Sydney. Barras, like I think I said in the commentary, it looked like he'd already played like 200 games for Hawthorn. He looked really solid, and their small forwards pretty good, in their midfield, Will Day had a pretty good game. But I won't like recap too much. But for the Bombers, I do think they can put up a bit of a fight. They looked good in their preseason. I reckon if they're gonna somehow win like that Kaka guy and Caddy, they're gonna have to have a really good game, I reckon. But Hawthorn, they've got more aura than Essendon, so I'd yeah, I think Hawthorn win this game comfortably in the ends. We'll go like um, 5 goals, 30 points. Hawthorn win, and it should be a pretty good game this one, I reckon. So yeah, looking forward to it. All right, next up we got the Cats and the Dockers. So firstly, fucking spare a thought for the players. It's going to be like up, I think 37 degrees in this game. I've heard that I think they're going to like reduce the quarter breaks or something like that. But yeah, far out. If I played a game of footy in that temperature, I'll be absolutely fucked. But I'm not a professional athlete, so let's move on to the game now. Both of these teams' first games this season, and Freo, they should be pretty good this year. They got Bolton. Well, they have him, but not for this game. He's injured, I believe. So, yeah, the Dockers out. I think I will be leaning towards the Geelong. Considering it is in Geelong, and they rarely lose there. Although in saying that, the Dockers actually got them last 2 times, but still like round one, you'd expect Geelong to just win this. Like it's their midfield isn't their strength; it's mainly their backs and forwards. I think Joe McCameron's gonna have a good year again. I've actually got him for the Coleman. Um, But yeah, we'll just see how it go. But I will tip Geelong in this one. I do think Freo can put up a good fight, and I think they can pinch it if they dominate clearances, particularly. But I'll still just go the Cats at home. It's pretty silly to tip the Cats, not tip the Cats. Sorry if they are playing in Geelong. So I'm gonna go Geelong in this one by 18 points. Right, so moving on, we have the Swans and my Brisbane Lions. And so basically, every single time the Lions play, so I go for the Lions, I'm going to tip them every single time. So basically, well, I'm never going to tip against my team. I'm not that sort of person. So every single Lions segment, basically, it's just going to be a justification of why I am tipping Brisbane, which to be fair, most weeks it shouldn't be too hard because I mean we're the fucking reigning premiers. Like we should at least compete in most games. Um, but yeah, of course, I'm never going to tip against the Brisbane Lions, they're my team. So yeah, let's move on to the game now. Yeah, I really think we can dismantle Sydney just like last time we played. That was a pretty good game, I must say. I mean, we only have to do at worst 59 points less than what we did last time we played him. And again, in the last video, I said like, I don't really rate Sydney's list at all. Like their key backs, their key forwards. Like we'll have like McCartan. I'm guessing he's still going to be playing forward, and like Amadi, and I think like Hayden McLean. I don't know if he's actually available for this game, but we're going to have them on Harris Andrews, absolute superstar, robbed of the All Australian last year. I don't really care that much so, and Jack Payne, so showing really good form, and also Froggy. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say I can't see us winning this game. Obviously, it's still in Sydney. They're a good side, but yes, our list is absolutely stacked. Like our midfield as well. We can absolutely compete with their midfield houses, if not better. Of course, they're still missing Golden, which really sucks for them. And I also think our small forwards can really dominate them, just like we did in the grand final as well. Got like Archie can be really dangerous against them because he absolutely towered up Blakey in that grand final. We've got Loman as well, and like I mean they have like Harry Cunningham, but besides that, not really anyone to like lock down. Like they don't have a Brandon Starcevic basically. So yeah, Sydney's still a good side, but I reckon we should win this one at the SCG, which we also did win the last time we were there as well. So yeah, I'm going to go Brisbane by we'll go 24 points. Now, all of these next games, yeah, they're all very, very tough decisions. I think some of them, like, yeah, I was going like between options are all very tough games to tip. But so yeah, we got the Dogs and North here, and this might seem like a simple tip at first, but I do reckon North they're finally going to like shoot up the ladder, or shortly. They've been at the bottom for like 4 something years now. The midfielders, the young midfielders, starting to get a little bit more consistent. And you have the Bulldogs as well. One of the main factors that this game's hard to tip is because they've obviously got so many outs like Bontempelli, Chalor, Yul Hagen. I still don't really know what's going on with him, but he is out. And also Richards as well, and some other guys. So um, yeah, I was actually really contemplating tipping North of this one, but I'm going to go the Bulldogs just because, North, like, they're still going to be relatively shit this year and they just don't really know how to win games. Like, they've won, like, 3 something games each year for the past, like, 4 years. And I mean, like the last time these teams played, the Dogs won by like almost 100 points, and Sam Darcy also kicked 7 goals. So I think he could have another really good game. So he looked good against the Hawks in Tassie. So yeah, I'm going to just go the Bulldogs in this one. I have more faith in them, but I think it still could be a close game. So I'll go the Bulldogs by 6 points. Next up and last of the Saturday games, I got another really interesting game. This one will be Collingwood versus Port Adelaide at the MCG. Also, this is going to be the last Port game of the MCG for the season, which is really dumb in round one. But anyway, so yeah, I was very surprised last week by Collingwood's performance against the Giants. So I tipped them, and I tipped them quite comfortably as well. But they got pretty much absolutely destroyed in that last quarter, especially. Dare I say, they just looked really slow. And yeah, all of a sudden, tipping them to finish third on the ladder this year. There's like that meme. It's like the guy holds a credit card up to the camera. I might be investing too much into Collingwood this year. That might have been a very big mistake. Um, and yeah, they looked very worrying against the Giants in the last quarter. Like the guys like Scott Pendlebury, like he looked pretty slow. But about the power as well, I mean, I think it's just going to be the same old year for the power, dominant in the home and away season and the bomb out and finals. So, um, yeah, of course, their strength is their midfield, kind of like Sydney, but they're like their key position players are a big question mark. Like Marshall's going to be out this year, but they do still have Georgiades, and if they didn't have a Leah, they would be absolutely fucked because they've got no good defenders besides Leah. But again, I still think Paul would be good this home and away season. And I was going to tip Collingwood, but honestly, from just judging from their performance last week, I was going to tip them purely because, like, they could bounce back. It's at the MCG, which Collingwood also always pretty hard to beat at the MCG. But purely from how they played last week, I'm going to tip Port Adelaide just because I can't really have a justification to tip Collingwood with how crap they played last week. And Port Adelaide, like, I still think they're going to be pretty good. Of course, a large factor will be Dan Houston as well. I don't think Collingwood are going to lay over as easy as they did last week. It is definitely going to be a tough task for Port. But I think they can do it, and I will tip them in this game by 12 points, and hopefully it should be a good game. I'm very interested to see how this one goes out. I still can very much see Collingwood winning, but yeah, geez, they looked pretty shocking last week. All right, now we got the Crows and the Saints at the Adelaide Oval. And Saints in this one pretty stiff, I reckon. They're the only Victorian teams not playing Victoria round one. But yeah, I guess that's just what you get if you're a singular supporter. And yeah, this is one of the last few remaining games where it's going to be pretty short. This one, going to tip Adelaide at home. Um, Last year they somehow finished in the bottom four, but they're absolutely not a bottom four caliber side. They majorly underperformed last year, but I reckon they can shoot back up the ladder this year, maybe finish finals. I mean, I'll just talk about this game for once. Singular. Um, I do think they're in pretty much a rebuild mode right now, considering like how they keep mentioning like how young their players are and how young their list is. So I'm thinking they're kind of going down that road, and like Adelaide Oval, it's a ground that they have historically very little success at, and like to be honest, like I just can't see the Saints getting up in this one. A large part of how I tip is just like what outcome can I see happening, and I cannot see the Saints going to Adelaide and making a shock upset in round one. I think it's going to be the Crows quite comfortably in this. They've got a Riley Thilthorpe um, back and healthy more than just 7 games this year, hopefully. Um, and yeah, you got guys like Rankin. I think he had a really good game against the Saints like a year or so ago. I think he can have another good one. And yeah, I just can't see the Saints winning this one, so I'm going to tap Adelaide by 40 points. And now we've got Melbourne and GWS. Another interesting game, also the MCG. So talk about the Giants first. They were outstanding last week. Callahan thought he really pronounced himself as one of the stars of the game. I'm not sure if he can keep up on that form, but yeah, he looked really good last week. And I think also as well they got like I think maybe a couple of the players from that spicy Mad Monday suspensions coming back. I think I'm not exactly sure, but for the Demons, I didn't think they looked too bad against Freo. Some of their star midfielders like guys like Oliver, Drake and that, they looked pretty good. And actually, I thought about it quite a bit. I'm actually going to take Melbourne for this one. Like, again, there's no real reason. I don't really have a justification, but I'm just going to tip Melbourne because I've got to tip an upset for this round. So I'm going to go the D's at the MCG. I won't tip that this game will get over 20,000 people, but I will tip on Melbourne winning this game because, yeah, maybe I guess the Giants might get ahead of themselves a little bit. But yeah. And, Melbourne's defence have still got Stephen May, Jack Lever. Although Hogan is coming back. So, anyways, yeah, I'm just going to go on a limb and tip Melbourne in this one by 18 points. Yeah. All right, and last game of the round, we got the Eagles and Gold Coast. Now, it's going to be very depressing seeing the absolute dog shit Suns Guernsey on the field for the first time. But yeah, geez, I'm very, very, very tempted to tip West Coast here, but I'll play it safe. I'll be a pussy and tip Gold Coast, even though they're absolutely shit away from home. Well, last year at least. Like surely like, they've got guys like Matt Rowell, Noah Anderson. Like surely they can manage to beat this West Coast team. For the record, I think Gold Coast will not make finals this year because I'm gonna have to see it to believe it. I think they're one of the most overrated sides heading into this season. Considering that they've promised everything and shown nothing throughout the entire history, but like West Coast, I've got them finishing next to Richmond in the bottom two. And even though it is in Western Australia, I'm very tempted to tip the Eagles for this one. And I can absolutely see it happen. Gold Coast absolutely shitting the bed. But I mean, come on, surely Gold Coast. Like, I'm very interested to see how this game goes out. Whether Gold Coast are mature enough to get this win on the road or on a plane, WA. But yeah, I am gonna be a pussy and tip Gold Coast in this one by let's go 2 goals. But yeah, with that said, I still don't think they're going to be that good this season, Gold Coast. But you know, surely they get this win. You'd think so. Anyway, that's all the tips. Yeah, I'm gonna try and quickly just edit this video and get it out there. Yeah, we'll see how it went next week. Yeah. Ooh, and go Lions.